some tips for trance, especially for those of you who have been going through the development playlist and have done some practicing with trance. One of the things, and I had a friend who experienced this yesterday, is we can overcomplicate it. We can actually get in our way. Videos where I'm walking you through it, they're like full sessions. And as a teacher, I know the fears that people have. So I'm trying to cover all bases. I can't stress this enough. Start practicing with just your trance guide in a non-formal way, right? You can simplify the steps, truly. And the whole thing is for you to be uninvolved. Don't add things, don't try to breathe a certain way. So you could just be sitting there in meditation. Ask your trance guide to step close to you. And it can be quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Ask your trance guide to take over your breath. Just feel for that. If you don't feel anything, be sure you're not adding something there. Like, in other words, you're just surrendering. You're giving your vessel. So you say, I give you permission to take over my breath. Just observe. Then ask your trance guide to do the overlay process. You could just say that, do the overlay process. Ask your trance guide to do the mind blend. And that's it. You could leave it there. Those 4 things. And that will blend your trance guide with you. And sit. Feel their energy. You can ask, can I feel your energetic signature? You can ask them to turn up the volume. You play with it. You can ask them to help you go on an astral journey. Or you could ask them to clear any blocks. But the idea is, when you do trance, you have to say those things. You really do. So even if you're doing our Friday night circles, make sure you're saying it as well. Make sure you're staying focused. One of the things I do sometimes is I breathe through their breathing through me. So when I say take over my breath, I get a tightness in my throat, almost like I feel like my breath has been restricted. It feels heavier. Sometimes I've pushed through that just to make sure I could still breathe. And I know I'm doing that. And then I'll say, okay, take over my breath again. You can re-ask things. You can say to them a few times, stand close to me. Stand very close to me. Even closer. Take over my breath. Do the blanketing or the overlay. Do the mind blend. You can add things. You can say, blend your heart space with mine. Let me feel your energetic signature. Or you can say, let me feel my own energetic signature. But you're just observing. You have to step back. Don't do certain breaths. Don't do anything. Don't do anything but observe. Now, if you want to do healing on yourself or play with it a little more, I would include your healing guide. Have your healing guide and your trance guide step forward. Ask them both to step very close to you. You can say, form the energetic bond. You don't have to though. They're going to be bonding, but you can say, take over my breath. Do the overlay process. Do the mind blend. I felt mine, just do it now. Just those few steps will get you into trance. Then, when you're sitting there, if you're not feeling anything, ask them to turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Enhance this. Enhance this. Your job then is to surrender and just observe. Observe your body, right? Or if you want to heal someone else, ask your healing guide, your trance guide, step close to you, take over your breath, do the overlay process, do the mind blend, and you'd like to heal your mom. Let the healing begin. Turn up the volume or don't. Surrender. Observe. It could be right 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to be formal. When I teach this, I have to try to cover many bases because I know people have a lot of fears and things. So I have to make sure you feel very safe and all of that. Even closing of the chakras, they'll do those things. They know what you need. But I have to state these things when we do it formally. But they've got your back. So try this with trance. Try just sitting. Call your guide forward right now, your trance guide with me. We ask for love and protection. I ask you, Bradley, to stand very close to me. I get a pull. I ask you to take over my breath. I feel a restriction in my throat. Just a restricted breath. I asked you to do the blanketing and the overlay process. I feel like a warmth over my face. I asked you to do the mind blend. And I feel like a toot toot. And he's here. So practice with trance more informally. You're safe.